Going on, dudes and dudettes? So yes, as I mentioned in Sunday's video, for those commitments from four-star linebacker Noah McHale and the four-star wide receiver Corey Sims, that it's going to be a pretty big day. USC was going to be able to get both of them, and yes, the USC was able to get at least one of them. It was the second one, and the four-star wide receiver and Corey Sims. He kind of made it a little bit interesting because he did pick up the USC hat at first, and of course I kind of celebrated, but then he threw that hat off and put on his other, I think it was like Missouri, threw that one off, put on Penn State's, and kind of just assumed it was that one, but then he threw that one off and then pulled a hat out of a backpack, I think, or a bag, and it was the USC hat, a better one in my opinion, and then just unzipped his hoodie and he had a USC shirt on, and then a lot of his people around him are wearing USC gear as well. So yeah, it's kind of scared me a little bit because I kind of felt good about his commitment coming towards USC, but yes, at least they're able to get him. Yes, sadly, they did lose out to the four-star Noah McHale, but luckily he did choose Texas A&M over Oregon. It's like 3 schools he was choosing between, so yes, sad that he isn't coming to USC as of this second because there's still a possibility he could change his mind later this year, but at least he's not going to Oregon, so hopefully he doesn't change his mind towards that either. But yeah, expecting a bunch of commitments, like I said in that video on Sunday. I think we still got like Marco Jones, the edge player, another edge player, and Justin Hill, and then that 3-star offensive tackle, Elijah Vicano. No, I'm not saying that correct, but yeah, he's that 4th generational type of USC Trojan, hopefully later in the week. But yeah, definitely some tough news, going 50% on Sunday, hoping to go back up over 100 on the other days coming up this week. And Duke's freshman Cooper Flagg was apparently the only college player invited to the Team USA select team, which is pretty much a group of like 15 to 20 some odd players that are given the opportunity to pretty much practice and, you know, scrimmage against the main Team USA team, which they obviously have already said. So none of these guys are going to be going to the Olympics to represent Team USA, but there's a possibility, because what if there's an injury in those workouts or the month leading up to the Olympics starting later in July, so you just never know. So some of these guys could end up getting called up, but with the group of guys that were going with him as well, I kind of assumed a handful of guys would be selected over Cooper Flagg, because some thought he could be the lone college guy being represented on the team, but I just think they'll have better options, in my opinion, than him as of right now. In the near future, he could be probably one of Team USA's top players or top bench guys, but as of right now, yeah, he's just going to be, you know, a select guy. At least he did get invited, the only college guy, so at least he's going to represent Duke that way. And the Celtics sent out a qualifying offer to Drew Peterson, the ex-USC guys, which makes him a restricted free agent. So if another team decides to give him a contract, the Celtics have an option to match it, or he's going to sign that contract pretty much. So we'll see what ends up happening with him. And then I believe Chimezie Metu, the Pistons, did decline his option to return to the team. So looks like he's going to be a free agent. I was hoping he was going to go to the Lakers this last season, but we'll see what he ends up doing. I think another offer did go out there. Yeah, it was the Cavs declining the qualifying offer to Isaiah Mobley, which made him an unrestricted free agent, so he's able to actually go and sign with whoever. He doesn't have to wait for the Cavs to match the deal or whatever. So yeah, congrats to him, and it was good for him to play with his brother, but now I guess he could go play somewhere else. I think another player that was signed was Kevin Porter Jr. He did get a 2-year deal with the Clippers, so most likely a minimum type of deal. But yeah, finally back in the NBA after his whole domestic violence thing. I guess it was a case put against him that wasn't true. He was able to win and got back into the NBA. I think he played overseas the past season or two, but now he's back, so congrats to him. And the 2025 5-star number 3 overall player Darren Peterson is planning a USC visit in the near future, so that's good. I know he's planning a bunch of visits. Hopefully these will be official ones, so then USC can get him in, and hopefully he will be able to commit, because that'll be a pretty big time get for the program. There's also another 2025 player who is the number 15 overall guy in Trey McKinney, who has already scheduled a USC visit as well. So I'm always surprised whenever I hear these other guys who are interested in USC compared to Duke, and then how Duke aren't even on the list of some of these guys too, because you would think Duke would be on pretty much everybody's list, but I guess not. But that was pretty interesting to find out. So hopefully USC has a chance at both of these guys. And when it came to the House of Victory, yeah, they had a couple signings. They did sign the tight end Joey Olsen, and there was the guard/forward on the basketball side in Matt Noling, and then also the offensive lineman Alani Noah as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, congrats to all those guys. They are now in the House of Victory NIL Collective, so go make your money. And then, yeah, when I did mention that thing the other day, that I kind of thought that it was both USC and Duke being the only two teams that had at least one player drafted in both the first rounds of the NBA and NFL draft, which is pretty cool. But I think there are also 2 of 4 teams that had multiple players drafted in each of those drafts, which is pretty cool. I think when it came to USC's numbers, they had 2 NBA guys and 7 NFL, and Duke had 2 NBA and 3 NFL players overall together. So yeah, a total of like 15 guys or something like that from my school, so that's pretty cool. I've obviously had so much to talk and multiple videos to make, but yeah, it's pretty cool to be on a short list of both the NBA and NFL draft prospects getting drafted for both of my schools that I follow. And yeah, expect an Anaheim Ducks update, because the draft was this last weekend. They got some pretty good players, some pretty surprising players, especially at the top of the draft that I guess was kind of controversial, but not really, because he is a pretty good player. But I don't expect both those guys to come and play right away for them, because they're pretty young and pretty small too, but hopefully they will be able to bulk up after a season and be ready for them. But yeah, expect that video coming up soon. So thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Fight on, and let's go Duke.